Everybody, this is part of my series where I interviewing guests for my Rumble channel. Who the fuck is Kurt Pickstone? But when people have got a business, I like to talk to them a bit about the business that I can put onto Facebook and YouTube and talk about that. But if you want to get the second bit, that will be on my Rumble channel. So it's amazing guy. I've actually known him for some time now. I've been on one of his courses. I like what he's about. I like what he says. And he's a great guy, and his name's Croz Crossley. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, very well.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming on the show. And it's always difficult getting everyone together, and especially when you're in South Africa.
Yes, yeah. Someone had to do it, Kurt.
Well, yeah, why not? It's a place I've never been, and I know a few people from South Africa, and yeah. They do like the brides, don't they? So that's
yeah, love it. It's heaven on earth. It's beautiful. I've been coming here regularly since 1981.
Nice.
So I must like it.
You must do. They must like you as well.
Yeah.
So so for this first bit, a bit about your business, because obviously a lot of people know who you are and what you do, but a lot of people don't. So that's why it's interesting to find out about your business. So what is it you actually do, Croz?
Well, at the moment, I'm concentrating mainly on business coaching with mindset as applicable to business, getting people over hurdles and what have you. And I've had a few, kicked a few goals in the last few years. COVID was quite busy, where people were stressing and straining, and we popped in and give them a little bit of information to help them over the hurdle, and that's it. But mainly, my business expertise comes from having been in business for nearly 60 years now. So I've got a few little stories to tell and a few bits of information that I can impart. Yeah. And it seems to work. Yeah. Bit off the wall, as you know, Kirk. But
it is a bit.
People seem to like that.
It isn't, because at the end of the day, there's a few things you always say is relax, and relax. And
precisely.
And I've took a lot of your learnings from the course I came on and applied them. And my lad's just moved to Thailand, and he's looking at various things. And I remember one thing you said to me. I says, do yourself a favour. Don't make any decisions when you're in a state of euphoria or a state of like stress or distress, because you'll make the wrong decision. You need to step back, wait till you can. And it's so true, mate. It's so true.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you say, the things you learn with experience never lose value. And I've tried to make decisions in both states, stress and euphoria. And I've never made a good one yet.
No, you don't. You don't. I mean, a good example for people is like the old timeshare, isn't it? Oh, it's great. This is wonderful. Yeah. You're out of the real world, and then you go all happy, and you've had a couple of champagnes. Yeah, we'll sign up for 50 years at whatever it is, and next thing you know, you never go to it. It's like
that's it.
It's madness, isn't it? So all the bad decisions. Hey, it goes to relationships as well, because a lot of people make some bad relationship, not just business, don't they, when they're in a state of euphoria?
Precisely.
Or stress.
Precisely. And as you say, I mean, even in that decision there, you should always stand back and look at it. I mean, I've been with Val now for 55 years, I think it is now. And I'm still trying to work out whether it was a good or bad decision.
Well, I know the answer to what the anti-Val will say. Yeah. Tell you what, Cross, you must be a bloody saint. But all joking apart,
I must be a saint.
No, she must be a saint. But all joking apart, people, I've known Croz and his wife for some time now, and I remember, and this was really interesting. This is the type of person he is. I was down near London doing a Kew Garden exhibition. I don't think I'd ever met Croz, but where you knew me through somebody else, and you invited me into your home and fed me, and we had a nice evening together, and I was absolutely blown away. And that speaks volumes of you, because you didn't know who I was really, but because of the connection with someone else, there's a bit of a, well, it must be all right. And you invited me around, and I'll never forget that. And it was absolutely wonderful and really nice, man.
And we enjoyed having you.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Really, really good. So you try and keep it simple for people, don't you, in your business and what you're trying to...
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, there's lots of different situations. Basically, in fact, I'm just dealing with a rather big company in London at the moment, and I've been doing all their senior management. And we just had a discussion a few days ago with the owner, and and I said, look, this is it's getting too hard because a lot of them aren't listening. And one of the guys that needs the information most is the one who thinks he knows the most and he thinks he doesn't need any help, which is crazy. And yet the owner listens, the operations manager, director listens, and what have you. But the ones that have not listened, I said, I can't really help them. And yet one department that they've opened, and I've taken the guy from day one in that department, and it's the best performing department in the business. So I rest my case. But he listens because he was putting out as his depth, really, to run the department. He was taken and put in there. And then we've made a bit of a success of it. But, as you know, the first thing is, Kurt, the people have got to listen, and they've got to they've got to want guidance, because that's all it is. I mean, it's the quickest way to get anywhere is find someone who's been there before and ask them how to do it.
Yeah, exactly, and it's really important. But you picking up on that, that's the issue a lot of time in business, is those people that don't want to get involved, and they're probably the ones that's is causing the problem in the first place, because they're in their own little thing and want to they want to do it their own way, and they're not. You know what I mean? They're not interested in. They're not interested in growing. I think there's you get a lot of blockers, don't you? People like that.
That's it. And to be honest with you, my age now, I'm at the point where I don't want to push crap uphill anymore. I pushed a bit up in my time, and now if it doesn't flow, I don't want to be involved. And it serves me well, because I should imagine when they've told those managers that they haven't got to talk to me anymore, they were very happy. And when I was told that I didn't have to talk to them anymore, I was very happy. So it was a win-win situation.
But and that's going to be bad in the future, isn't it? Because if they're not open to things, then I can't understand why anyone wouldn't want to learn and listen to you, because it's not like sitting in a health and safety meeting or some board. It's interesting, and it's things you can apply to what you teach. You can apply to everything in life, can't you? But
it's not only the mindset stuff. It's good, solid business information as well. I've been involved in business at all levels. I've had businesses that have failed and businesses that have roared in success, and I've learned from every one of them. And so there's a lot of business information that I can give them. Like the guy that's listened to this new department, he turned over just under 500 grand last year as a department that was taking about 100 grand when he took it on.
Nice.
So, so there's a lot of things, and I always make out that, I say, come on, Tom, we'll do this, we'll do that. And, I'll say it was your idea and this, that, and the other, and it's just worked well. And I get a kick out of that. And I always give him a good shout out in dispatches when we're talking about debriefing and that. I go, oh, Tom's a good lad. So he's getting a bit of benefit off it. And he just went to America to run a marathon or a couple of marathons a little while ago, took a month off as an employed manager. All right. So we got him all set up, and he said, oh, they'll never let me do that. And I had a little word with the owner and all the other directors. I said, no, if you're all right, he'd pop his nose in every now and again and make sure it's all running right.
Yeah.
And it went well. So he was thrilled to bits. He didn't think he'd had a chance in hell of getting a month off. But,
Yeah.
So as I say, it's off the wall.
No, it's good though. It's good. I've obviously been on one of your courses that you run, and that was a bloody great day. So you've moved away from that now and mainly focusing on.
Well, COVID sort of put the kibosh on it a bit because we couldn't do it. Then I think I did about half a dozen during COVID, and that was a whole new adventure. If you don't get the live reaction, it's all right doing this, but there's nothing better than sort of being there and feeling it and all that.
Yeah.
So that become a bit hard work, and I haven't I've been approached to do some stuff with a couple of people, and Brad's got back onto me,
Nice.
and I think he's thinking of putting something together, and I'll poke my nose in that and try and get be involved in that. So I'm all right. I do like the courses. I think they're great
Mm.
because you sort of there's people have been on courses years ago, from like 25 years ago, always say, "Oh, I'll never forget that," or "I'll never forget."
Yeah.
So because all the little things are, as I say, stuff that I've learned from experience, and and it's quite powerful. It's quite powerful, and if you take it on board, it does serve you well.
It does, and
Can you remember the two questions you ask yourself
yeah,
there,
and I still ask him all the time. Have you
Yeah,
done anything you have you done everything you can do? And if you answer to that, the next question is there anything else you can do? If you answer no to that, then don't worry about it. So
get on with it. And
it's
now, how powerful's that? And that was
it
how long
is
ago?
well
Ten,
seven
10 years, 8 years,
7 8 years ago.
maybe 8 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah, and I still apply that now. So say I don't know, say something's going on. I don't know, we might be having bad storms. If you've done everything you can do, and the roof's going to come off, it's going to come off, isn't it? There's nothing you can do about
yeah,
it. You know what I mean? Have you done everything right? Have you put everything away? Have you done whatever it is?
yeah.
And there's no point worrying about it. And
And
I
then
think
just forget it and deal with it when it's real.
correct. And
Dealing real.
the trouble is, Cross, and that's what you're talking about. A lot of people nowadays are stressed about things that might happen in the future, but have never
Right.
happened. It might never happen. So they get into this big spiral about, oh, what about this? What about yeah? But what about anything? Nothing's happened yet. Do you know what I mean? Nothing. What if
And at the moment, Kirk, there's so much to worry about
there is,
that
mate?
if you took it all on board, you'd drive yourself insane. I mean, I think the best thing is deal in real. If it's not real, there's nothing you can do to change it.
Yeah,
Not once you've answered those two questions. So just deal in real. And you see, the difference is, if you remember the circular thought,
yeah,
whereby you go to bed and you've got this problem on your mind that is only in your imagination. So you think about it and think about it and think about it. And then you come around to the beginning again because there's no solution. So you go round and round and round, circular thought. And the only way to stop that is if you lie there and you think of something that you know the ending to, then you turn a circle into a straight line.
yeah,
Right? So
yeah.
it's something you know the answer to, and you just think along those lines. I always think of a game of golf. I do lie to myself a bit,
Oh,
though.
and yeah, you do like it.
Pretend I'm a bit better than what I am. But anyway, but I'm always a kit before I get to the third tee. It's
Yeah,
lovely. Just play it along, whack it, do that. It's beautiful. So just find something, whatever it is that you know the answer to, and you are pleased with the outcome.
yeah.
Well, it might be the day you got married. I can't imagine too many people saying that, but it might be the day you got married. But it could be.
It's like the old one, isn't it? I wish it was tomorrow. I wish it was tomorrow. I wouldn't frigging go.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to recount. But as I say, just think of something that this is great if you have insomnia or if you do have trouble worrying at night. Find something that you know the result. And if it's a game of golf, it could be a game of football that you've just seen on the television and just replay it in your mind. But you know the result. So it can't go circular because you're going in a straight line towards a result.
Yeah, and I
You
think
just keep thinking about
I think the other big thing that you've taught me, and I think you tell it for everyone, is make. It always makes me laugh when people go, "Oh, he's got £1 million, or he's got £3 million, or it's all right
Yeah.
for him. That'd be great." And it's not the case. Is it? Money doesn't make you happy, but you always say,
No.
make where you are now happy, because when you get to that
Yeah.
other place, you're not going to be happy, are you?
That's it.
You've not.
Make where you are where you want to be.
Yeah, that's it. Make
Because
where you are.
otherwise, what happens is you spend your life trying to escape from where you are, right?
Yeah,
And that's not a good thing if you're not happy. So if you just make where you are, like where we are here now, is beautiful. But I couldn't come to South Africa and stay in something that was average
yeah,
because I wouldn't be happy there. So
no,
I've got to, raised my game. So I'll have something. We're overlooking Table Mountain, got the ocean, the lap of the waves, a beautiful apartment. That's great. I ain't trying to escape anywhere now.
No,
But
no.
if I was in a dodgy place, I wouldn't relax and I wouldn't be happy. So I live what I teach.
Yeah.
And if I had lived what I teach at any point and find, well, hang on, that don't work anymore, I'll have to change my thoughts. But everything, as you remember, there's only that much to learn. But it takes a lifetime to be able to apply it.
Yeah.
Because it's the hardest thing you ever have to do. Because it flies in the face of a lot of stuff that you know. You know, it's there is a lot of stuff that I say to people, and go, oh, have their fingers behind their back. I pretend I say it, but I don't believe it.
Yeah,
That's no good.
but you've got to try it. And like seriously, I've applied a lot of it, and I think it's put me in good stead over the last 8 years or so. I don't make a fortune out of what I'm doing, but you know what? I'm happy doing it.
You're bloody happy.
I love it. It's great, and I do other things like. And there's another saying that you have, and you always said to me, if I can see chimney pots, I can make money.
That's it.
I think I told you about a year or so ago, Sandra had taken a year off work. I didn't want her to just take the next job just to get the money. I wanted her to take the right job. So I went and signed her with an agency, went driving vans, and people were saying like, oh, why are you doing that? Oh, why are you doing that? I'm like, because there's chimney pots.
Keep a bit of food on the table.
Chimney pots, I can keep us ticking over, and she went. It allowed us to go another 2-3 months, and she's got an absolutely brilliant job now. And I've carried on doing it. I love doing what I do.
Which she wouldn't have had if you hadn't done what you did.
Yeah, exactly. She'd have took the crap job she'd have took a job that she'd have earned decent money on, but I knew she wouldn't enjoy it. I knew, I could tell. So I think people, if you don't know Croz, go and check him out. Go and check out his stuff from the past. Go and interact with him, because I'm telling you what now, it is brilliant, and it's not, like I said, it's simple, but it's not simple because you've got to apply it. And see, the thing is, Croz, you'd never know what's going to happen. So from that job, which was driving a van, yeah, and some people might look down on that, but I don't care because they're not paying my bills. They're not going to come round and give me.
Never accept criticism from someone you wouldn't go to for advice.
Yeah, they're not going to give me a couple of grand to keep me going. Do you know what I mean? So I was doing that, and I put everything into that job. I said to my lad, I says, I'm going to be an agency driver for a bit. I'm going to be the best agency driver they've got. And do you know what? If I ever ring them now and say, have you got any work? They go, we'll always find you work.
Yeah.
Kurt, always. So from that, and this is a good lesson for everyone. From that, I posted it on LinkedIn, and a few people went, oh, I won't put it on there. People look down on you. From that, someone says, well, do you fancy doing some test riding? There's a test riding, and I now test ride motorcycles, which is
lovely.
And when I was in bed having my brain done, right?
Yeah.
I said, the only thing I want to do is ride motorcycles all day. The only thing I want to do is ride. And a few years later, guess what I do? I can ride motorcycles all day and get paid for it.
Yeah. Get paid for it. Brilliant, isn't it?
Mad, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's mad, and we went on a big talking a bit about me, but this is some of the stuff you've done. Was it 2 years ago? We decided we went to Norway. We thought it's once in a lifetime type of trip because it's expensive.
Yeah.
And we did it, and it was brilliant. You can never take those memories away from us. It was an absolutely brilliant trip, and I advise people, go and do what you want to do now while you can.
That's it. And I'll tell you another little saying that I don't know whether I mentioned it, but I'd say wherever happiness goes, success and wealth are sure to follow.
Yeah.
Right? Because success is subjective and wealth is also subjective to you. Right? So if you're happy, the success and wealth will follow. But it never works the other way.
No, it doesn't.
If you're wealthy, success and happiness won't follow. If you're successful, happiness and wealth may not follow. It might, if you're lucky, but it's always the main thing you've got to concentrate on in life is happy.
Yeah.
And that's why you've got to make where you are where you want to be.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, mate. I love it. Your teachings are great, mate, and people need to check you out. So we are live on Facebook. Got Mick Joel saying
All
good
right.
morning. Eddie's saying good morning, everyone. So we've got that as well. So it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But you're right. You know, I think people. What is success? I mean, that is very subjective. People think success is being a millionaire, aren't they? Or having a massive house and a swanky. My Land Rover's out there. You said about big red cars and flashing. All right, I
Yeah.
still remember all
Yeah.
that. I've got my
Yeah.
Land Rover there. It's nearly done 100,000 miles. It's 10 and 12 years old, and I kept saying, "Why don't you change it?" I went, "Why? I don't need it. It's still working." Until it stops
That's
working,
it.
I don't need to change it. I said,
Look,
because I do a bit of car driving as well, move cars around, and I get in all these brand new cars and go, "This is all right, yeah, quite like this." And I
yeah.
get in mine and go, "Oh, this is lovely." Do you know what I mean? So
But the funny thing is, whatever car you get in, after a week, it's another car.
yes, it is, mate. It is.
Right. Once you've done drove around the pub car park a few times to make sure they all see you
And
and
your
done
Rolls,
that. Done it.
and your
I've
Rolls
done it.
Royce,
Yeah.
your Rolls
Lovely.
Royce.
Pulled in there, pulled in, opened the boot. Yeah, Rolls Royce. I had my first Bentley when I was 18 years old.
No, unbelievable.
Flying spur R-Type Bentley.
I'm,
Right. But the thing is, I'll tell you something. Do you want to know what success is?
yeah,
Success. My definition of success is four things. Do what you want to do, when you want to do it,
yeah.
and have the time and the money to allow you to do it. Then, my friend, you are successful. So if you're a miserable bastard and you don't want to go anywhere, you're successful.
I know. He's right. Isn't it? It's like you can be quite happy doing whatever, can't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
But that's it. And you see that most people ain't got the time.
Mm,
Most people with a shitload of money ain't got the time because they're so busy doing this ducking and diving and doing it. And that's all right in short bursts if you need to. I mean, I try and teach people to earn more, do less. That's my slogan. I hate people. They upset me, people that are rushing around doing and all that, because I can slow them down and make them earn more money. This business, the owner was stressed, and I've been with him 3 years now. It had just sold for 1.2 million, and it was taking 2.5 million turnover. This year they turned over just under 11 million.
wow.
They've got 80 staff, right? And the owner don't stop taking holidays, and he hadn't had an holiday for 7 years.
It's mad, isn't it? Because
Right.
you need those breaks, Cross, don't you? I think you need those holidays, even if you've got lots on. You need to take a break, whether it's a
You've got
weekend
to.
or a week or something, because I think when you step away from that, when you're in it, you're in it. You can't. It's the wood from the trees type
Yeah.
of thing, and you step away from it. And you start thinking of everything's clear, isn't it? Your mind's
You
clear.
can solve everything on holiday. I call it the holiday brain.
I know.
Everything you think about on holiday, you can do.
I know it's
But you
mad.
come back home and then you get all the shit piles up on you again, and you can't. You talk yourself out of it. But you see, the main thing in life, and as you know, I do live it. I look at me now. I'm here for 3 months in the sun,
Oh,
in a
man.
beautiful apartment overlooking the ocean and all that. It's I live what I preach, okay? And it's if you start chasing things, and it'll always run away.
Yeah.
So one of the first things is slow down, relax, look at what the situation is, give it proper consideration. Can I do this better? But you see, after people, they won't listen. They're quite happy, and they go and build this big pile of money. I had a guy in Australia. He would have been halfway to being a billionaire, right? He sold his business, and he was as miserable as sin. I think he sold it for about 400 million Aussie dollars.
Right, Jesus.
So I get a phone call from a friend of his saying, "I have a word with so and so. He's this, that, and the other." So I get hold of him. He's got a great big boat, but must have been 65 meters long. What a huge boat, right, with
Yeah.
glory decks on it and all the bits and pieces. He's got all this money, right, and blah blah blah. And he says, yeah, but there's no one to go on the boat with. I said, well, no. I said, do you know why? Because before you were paying their wages and they had to go on the boat. But to be honest with you, you see, you were so engaged in what you were doing that you haven't made any friendships.
Yes.
Right now, you can get anyone who's working for you. Say, come on the boat. Yeah, 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 yeah. But the thing is, if you want friendships, you've got to work on it. It's a two-way street. So his problem was he'd earned like $500 million, made himself a right miserable bastard all the way through the journey, convincing himself that when he gets there, everything's going to be all right with this big pile of money and the boat and everything else, the big mansions and all that. And he's as miserable as sin.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that is ideas in action. I could have told him before he started, save your time, mate.
Yeah.
You've got to be happy now, because happiness is a state of mind that you don't have to go looking for. When you've got happiness, it goes everywhere you go with you.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to chase happiness or look for it in anywhere other than in yourself. And if you're happy, wherever you are, you'll be happy.
Yeah.
If you're a miserable bastard, then wherever you are, you're going to have misery. So it's your choice. But you see, we're conditioned. We are conditioned to be accepted. Look at all this shit going on now with the government and whatever that we could talk about later.
Yeah.
We will. But look at all the crap.
Yeah.
How come there ain't a big mob of people outside the number 10 Downing Street with big sticks threatening to beat the crap out of all them people for what they're doing to us?
Yeah.
Right? They ain't got a clue. Right? But we're conditioned now, when the British public seem to be accepting a lot more than what they should be lately, and they've been downtrodden. Now the latest thing I've just seen is they're going to stop you talking in the pub if it's going to upset someone. Could you believe that?
Fucking man, mate. Well, we'll go into a lot more detail about this in a bit, mate.
What they've done is they got a 200 majority by default. They wasn't made into God, was they?
No.
Right? That's what they think what they're doing. But anyway, the thing is, the message is that if you spend your life devoting yourself to making money, working all the hours God sends, you can't fail. If you want a big pile of money.
Yeah.
But if you want a good life in retirement, if you want, to have fun and that, you can't, because you're conditioned. If you're a miser to get your money, you're frightened to spend money, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you get here and you're frightened to spend the stuff. And what's going to happen? This, that.
Yeah, I've not got enough. I've only got $1 million to last me. Yeah. Oh, I can't go on that holiday.
Well, and that ain't even a lot of money.
It's not a million pound, and then people will go, oh, well, £1 million is nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No.
It really is nothing. If you've got nothing, it's a lot of money. But in real terms, £1 million now is nothing. You know what I mean?
No.
One last year. What's most people going to spend a year? So if you're not,
how is it going to last?
If you're not working, I guarantee you're going to be spending $100,000 a year easy, minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum. So you've
got if you enjoy yourself.
Yeah, £1 million, 10 years gone, all gone.
Yeah. And but a lot of people, they won't have the mindset to allow them to go and enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
Because even though they got $1 million, they say, oh, God, what if I live for 12 years? Then I'll be dodgy. So what I'll do is I'll just live another 2 and then I'll revisit what's happening. And then by the time it is, they're just about to put the lid on the box. And it's too late.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we took a year off a couple of years ago as a mini retirement. And that was the thought, because we've got some money to one side from what Sandra had been doing, and we've got enough in the business. We've got enough to take a year off. So we took a year off as our retirement year whilst we were young. Sounds insane,
brilliant.
doesn't it? Right? And do you know what we did, Cross? Virtually every month. Well, it wasn't virtually every month of that year. We went away. We went and did something. We went to Portugal in February. We did. We did the Norway trip. We did. We did all sorts. I can't remember.
Yeah,
We went and did lots and lots of stuff
brilliant,
in that year. And that I
brilliant.
was like,
And I bet at the end of the year, you wasn't worried about it had all kept pace with you and everything had happened. You see, people think of money as this thing. Money's like water. If
yeah,
you go and scoop a bit out of it, it levels itself out again. Nature hates a void. You see, but providing you set yourself up properly, okay, and you're not chasing anything, life, it ain't too hard.
yeah,
It ain't too hard. It's only when you try and, you know my thoughts. If whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve it. But a lot of people, right, they're not prepared to put the effort in, right? So be realistic. If you really want something, right? No Olympic swimmer has ever sort of said, "Oh, well, I think I'll pop down the pool this afternoon, have a couple of laps," and you know, he's got up every morning knowing exactly what it is he wants to do, and he's up there doing it, and eventually gets to where he wants to be. But you see, the roads to success or to whatever is littered with good intentions. Everyone's,
mm,
oh, I'll do that tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that tomorrow. But and I'm not advocating everyone should have a target of lead and drive themselves mad. Because to be honest with you, I've got very few targets now. I've hit most of what I wanted to do, and I can totally relax sitting on a lounger with the sun beating down on me, looking out to the ocean and just thinking,
yeah.
lovely,
Lovely, mate.
right? But a
Absolutely.
lot of people can't.
Yeah.
I I have to be careful who I have around me now. Got all that energy and shaking and jumping about and hovering 2 inches above the ground with steam coming out of your ears. I've seen it all. It sort of enters me a little bit and drives me mad. So I have to be a little bit careful who I'm in the company of, Kirk.
Yeah, well, that's another thing, Cross, isn't it? Who you surround yourself with and people you're
Yeah,
around. It's a bit like you were saying before about being happy and being miserable. If you're miserable, guess what you get? You get more miserable
yeah,
people around you because you're all
that's
sitting there
it.
together going,
Yeah,
oh, life's shit. Yeah,
no,
well, it is shit, isn't it? Because you're all telling each other
no,
it's shit.
no one happy is going to want to be
No,
involved,
they're
are
like,
they?
fuck that, I'm out of here. See, I take some of your learning and I take it because I sometimes do some public. They've not asked me to do any last year. Maybe I've offended them. But I often say that and I give it the example to the students in the school. Say, listen, just think tonight you go into a party and there's a group of table over here and they're all like crying and miserable over here. And then there's a
Yeah,
table over here and everyone's, and they look like they're having a great
laughing
time.
and yeah,
Which table are you going to go and sit at? Because tell
that's
you what, you're not going to
it.
sit with the miserable sods. So if you're
No,
miserable, no one's going to want to know you.
no,
Got
and
it?
that's right. And the thing is that a lot of people don't understand how powerful the mind is.
Mm.
Right? I had a company in Australia, and they rang me up and they said, "Oh, we got a sales problem. We can't do this." And I sort of went and saw them when I was living in Australia, and I went and saw them, and I said, "Right, give me a bit of time. I'll have a little look around, see what I can come up with." So I'm looking around. I thought, yeah, fine. Anyway, I'm standing in the staff room, and the geezer comes in. One of the sales reps coming in. He said, "Oh, that was lucky. I nearly got that." So I went up there. I said, "What are you on about?" Oh, I said, 2008 during the Great Depression. The great
Yeah,
money, whatever.
yeah, the big
He
crash.
said he cut down on the production. Right? They made videos and that
Yeah,
for companies. Right? He said he cut down on production. He said now we got to go out and the sales pitches. We'll have it done for you within 3 weeks, right? And it's so busy that it's more likely 7 or 8 weeks. He said, and we get it in the neck. So although he's going through the patter, he don't want the sale because he's going to get it in the neck from the
yeah,
client,
yeah,
right? And the client ain't going to pay until the thing's to his liking and blah blah blah. So you know, the best thing they can do is come back and say it. So they didn't have a sales problem. They had a production problem,
mm.
right? So I just went to the owner and I said, "You ain't got a sales problem." What are you on about? I said, you've got a production problem. Put another two people in there that know what they're doing and see what happens. I'll ring you in 3 weeks' time. Boom,
Love it, love it,
solved,
love
right?
it.
Because if subconsciously the mind works like this, if it won't allow you to hurt yourself or get into trouble, that's its function. It's looking after you, it's taking care of you. So if all of a sudden you got someone standing in front of you that if you take their order, it's going to cause you a problem,
Yeah,
you won't take it.
yeah,
And it's amazing how it happens because it's just like it's an aura that comes out. We don't want your work. But if you've got production, you suck them in, right? So that all the salesman, it was just a conduit between the customer and the production, and he was bomb sucked it in. And within 3 weeks, everything he said, we got more than we can shake a stick at.
mad, isn't it? And people will be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that can't be true." It is true,
Oh,
and then
listen,
they're too busy. Sorry, or they're in that state again, aren't they, of not making a decision because they can see this one thing and actually not step back and relax and go, "Whoa, hang on a minute, it's not that, it's this over here."
yeah,
So
yeah.
making the wrong choices. That's brilliant, mate. That's brilliant. Brilliant. Do we want to carry on any longer on your stuff?
What do we want to talk about, me? Let's sort the world out, Kirk.
Right. Well, we'll tell you what we'll do. People, if you've watched this and enjoyed this, go and check out. It's opposite way around. Go and check out
Yeah.
Croz Crossley. He's all over the place. He's been in business for eons, and he knows his stuff, and he's brilliant. So please go and check him out. And if you want to know, we're going to have a deep dive now on Rumble where we can. You see, we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff, and it's going to. I'm looking forward to this because my head's about to explode. So I need a bit of